This is a reading of the Good News according to John. There are many images of Jesus in John's Gospel, the vine and the branches, the water of life, light and darkness. This one is the image of Jesus being the Good Shepherd, a relationship of friendship and intimacy. Jesus said to the Pharisees, "I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. The hired hand, who is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away. And the wolf snatches them and scatters them. The hired hand runs away because a hired hand does not care for the sheep. I am the Good Shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock and one shepherd. For this reason, the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it up again. I have received this command from my Father." This is the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
This week is really a week of memory. Next Thursday, Anzac Day, is going to be characterised by that mantra of ours, lest we forget. And there are many memories, many things that have been happening but this week, I think, is characteristically in Australia a week of memory. The Gospel that I just read to you is a story of memory. It was written, this John's Gospel was written probably 60 or 70 years after Jesus was died. So it was a community thinking back over 60 or 70 years. That's a fair while, isn't it? So the Gospel is a story of memory. And the third thing I'd like to say is one of the best parts of each one of us is our memory. I'm going to try to illustrate that this morning with what I have to say. I say it with some regret, by the way, because I'm often dashing around the house like a loon, looking for my glasses, or my keys, or the phone. And now I've got the problem, the phone rings, but I've got hearing aids on. So it rings in my ear, but it doesn't tell me where the phone is. You laugh sympathetically, I hope, because this has me bleeding with frustration. So memory's a tricky thing. There's somebody who wrote a number of years ago, and I can't find the reference of it now. You might be able to in Google, but this person said that there are 6 principles of spirituality, which is based in memory. Lots of people today say, "Oh, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual, Father." They're a real category of people now. They're a bit younger than us, by the way, if I could include you in my rather ancient time. But they're not into religion. but they're into spirituality. And that's I think, a genuine sort of comment they make. They're out there running around the tracks at the moment, by the way, sort of honing their bodies. But these are 6 principles of spirituality which are based upon our sense of memory. The first one is, remember who you are. I'll make a comment about that in a minute. Remember just who you are. Yes, we do forget who we are, but remember who you are. The second one is, remember what you love. Keep it in your mind. What do I really love? Thirdly, remember what is sacred. What are the things in your life that you regard as sacred? Remember what is true. Very timely sort of comment in these days of craziness and fake news and social media and all that sort of thing. But remember what is true. The next one is a bit sobering, a bit confronting, but remember that you will die. I think about that a lot these days. Remember that you will die. And finally, the 6th principle of memory is, remember finally that this day is an immeasurable gift. These next few hours, this day, this particular day, what is it, April, whatever it is, 21st? Is it the 21st? Anyway. April the 21st, 2024, is an immeasurable gift. Let's take those one at a time. Remember who you are. There's an American writer named Annie Lamott. Oh, she's an absolute trick. She's a wonderful writer. She's sort of vaguely Presbyterian, I think. Well, not so vaguely. She's a regular master. She goes to church for Sunday. But she's a wonderful woman and a wonderful writer. And in terms of saying, remember who you are, she said, in one of her writings, she's a great writer, you are not your bank account. You are not your ambitiousness. You're not the cold clay lump with a big belly that you leave behind when you die. Whoa, that's a bit heavy, Annie, isn't it, anyway? You are not your collection of wailing personality disorders. I'd like to hear a few of my personality disorders. I think you hear about them every Sunday, by the way. She says simply, you are spirit. You are love. Now I know those simple words, but by God I find them powerful. You are spirit. There's something within every one of us. We call it different things. We call it soul, we call it psyche, we call it ego, we call it all sorts of things. But you are spirit. And you are love. That's who you are. And we live in a culture that could be washed away from us so easily. You are spirit, you are love. And to remember that is the heart, I think, of this search for spirituality. Thirdly, secondly, remember what you love. What do you love and who do you love? There's a man who I've been a great fan of for years named David Richo, R-I-C-H-O. He's American too. And he says that if you're growing to become to maturity, if you're trying to become a more authentic adult, I think that describes most of us. We all, I feel about 12 years of age. I'm still trying to grow up. One of these days, it won't ever happen, but it's a process. He says, growing to become a more adult, you need to ask yourself the question, how do I reduce myself and really learn to love? How do I learn to love my partner? How do I learn to love the world in which I'm living? How do I really value friendship? We talk about friendship a lot, but to what extent do we really value it as the fuel of my life? So Rigo is saying, if you really want to go up, have a look at the way you love, the quality you love, the way you get out of yourself into respect and honour and really paying attention to those people that you say you love. So the second thing is, remember what you love. Remember what is sacred. What are the sacred things in your life? I live at Watson's Bay, so we were very close to the Bondi Junction disaster last weekend. And of course, as we've all seen, that the way we respond to disaster now is often to bring a bunch of flowers and leave it at the place. And so at Bondi there was dozens, hundreds of bunches of flowers left there by people. And I noticed they've taken all of those from the street and put them into Westfield's shopping centre now. And I look at those flowers and I think, they're beautiful, they look like a garden, but it's a funny, they look a bit rubbishy too to me. Please don't take that thing too common. It means dropping flowers there. I think behind the taking of flowers to Westfield, or you might remember if you're old enough, Diana's funeral, Diana, Princess of Wales. There were thousands and thousands of bunches of flowers. I think behind that is the fundamental need that we all have for ritual. We want to do something. We want to express ourselves. We want to have some sort of ritual to engage in when we feel so grief-struck. I think the flowers are a fairly contemporary way of expressing our ritual. Why? We're here in a ritual today for much the same reasons. We like our ritual. We like our coming to Mass as a community, but these forms of ritual now have lost an interest in other generations, I think. We say, I wish our young people would come to Mass. Well, cheers the fact that there are young people here, but there's a young generation that doesn't come to Mass. That this sort of ritual does not hit them, does not strike them. It strikes us, I hope, but it doesn't strike them. Why? Well, one of the reasons is lousy sermons, lousy, boring masses. I put up my hand. I'm not talking about other people, but our rituals don't work for this generation. But everybody needs that ritual, and so the laying of flowers at Bondi Junction is an expression of that, I think. So remember what is sacred. Remember what is true. Remember the really things that are true, and of course everyone's shouting at the moment about social media and disinformation and misinformation and deliberate lies. There's a fellow who's aiming to become the President of the United States, and they say he's told 32,000 lies. Oh my God. Who's been counting? But what is true is elusive. It's not easy to, but what's true for you What goes past flattery? What goes past simple, casual conversation? What does go past your addictions and those things that are simply stylish to remember? What is true for you? Remember that you're going to die. There's an old hero of mine, a fellow, a Spaniard who died 500 or 600 years ago, Ignatius of Loyola. And good old Ignatius, he was a short little fellow. Somebody said that Ignatius was only 5 foot tall, by the way. It's extraordinary, isn't it?